everyone, and welcome to the channel. I hope everyone is doing wonderful today. I just decided I was going to color in Little Sweethearts by Deborah Muller, and I just thought I would turn the camera on and color with you guys. I know, another whip. But I'm finishing up. I finished one, and I'm going to finish another one tonight, and I'm going to finish this one, and then all my whips will be caught up. But Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. I realized I had these books, and I have Tangled Hearts by Tabitha Barnett also. And so I want to start laying some colors down on these books and pages before Valentine's Day has come and gone. So if you don't have this book, I've done a flip through before. It is a cute little book. I'm not going to do a full flip through. I'll just kind of, you know, pop through some real quick. But it would be really cute for Valentine's Day. And so there'll be a link in the description for the book if you're interested. And you can check out my full flip through. If you would like to see that, just go to the list of my videos, and it is there. So, I did go ahead and pick out some colors before I got on camera today. How impressed are you about that? That's something for me. So, sorry about the shaking. My hands, camera, you know, trying to zoom you in. I'm so sorry. So, I hope everybody is doing very well. For me, today is Saturday. And Gary's working his shift. And I'm just hanging out, getting some things done. I had to go get my prescription refills this morning for my Requip for my restless leg, and for my Prozocin or Prozocin. It's an alpha blocker. It's actually a blood pressure medicine, but it is given to me to help with nightmares. It's used a lot to treat PTSD, and it's shown to be somewhat effective in trials. So my doctor said we were going to try that, and I've been on it for a little bit, and it doesn't stop the bad dreams, but it does tend to make them not as vivid, which is good. And it's something that I can generally snap out of very quickly if I wake up from one of those dreams. And if I like get out of bed and move around just a little bit, the dream's gone, and then I can go back to bed and go back to sleep peacefully, where before it didn't matter, you know, what I tried to do, I would just go back to bed and pick the dream right back up. So that's helped for me a good bit. And I realized that I only had enough to get me through like tonight, and I flipped out yesterday. I had to call really fast and say, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. So I went and did that this morning. And I can't think is what I can't do at the moment. There we go. I went and got some sushi, yeah, for some lunch. That was delicious. A lot of times I'll get, you know, like little bits and pieces of sushi, especially if we go to like the really cool all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet that's with hibachi that's in our town. But I saw this at the grocery store, and it looked really good, and oh my goodness, I think it was better than any that I had ever gotten before at a restaurant. So that might be a new thing on my little what to grab for lunches when I'm in a pinch. It was really good. And then I came home and I jumped in the shower, and the reason I didn't take a shower before I left is because I do not like to put a blow dryer on my hair when I wash it. I was on a beta blocker for quite a while, and it started making my hair fall out, and we didn't know what was causing my hair to fall out for the longest time, and it was coming out in clumps. I mean, it got very, very, very thin, and it was scary. It was so scary. And then I finally thought, well, could it be the beta blocker, and came off of that, and my hair did stop falling out. I still shed, but I always shed. But when my hair grew back, it grew back, I think maybe a little coarser than it was before. And it tends to get a little frizzy. So I have to use a hot iron on my hair. And I don't want to put a hot iron and a blow dryer. So I try not to wash my hair unless I've got plenty of time for it to dry on its own. So I jumped in the shower when I came back. And I also gave Bradley a bath. What I do when I just jump in the shower is I will put him in, the floor of the shower with me. And just kind of like bathe him and then let him do his little shake, shake, shake thing. And then he'll get out of the shower and I'll finish up. So I did that. He is terrified of water. He had a near drowning experience when he was a little puppy. And ever since then, he is absolutely terrified with water, so I have to be very gentle with him when it comes to bath times, or he will absolutely freak out. So I got him bathed, or showered, I guess you could say. And then I started washing all of the couch covers and things, where he gets on that. Started washing his beds. He has 4 beds in the house. He has one in the Florida sunroom, which he rarely goes out there. That's where my mother-in-law stays all the time. And he generally likes to stay close to me, so he rarely goes out there, but there is a bed there just in case. And then he has a bed in the living room in a corner, and he has a bed that was just bought for him at Christmas time that goes on that couch. And then, if that wasn't enough, he has a bed actually in my bedroom. And I have, you guys have seen that on a video before, and he has his own little blanket. And so, yeah. So I had to get all of that washed. It's still washing. It's finishing up right now. But it'll be ready by bedtime. So that will be good for him. He'll be happy for that. That'll give him a nice bed for the night. So, that's been my day so far. We will see what else happens as the day progresses. It's probably getting close to 4 o'clock now. So my day's almost over, other than just kind of chilling out and coloring and things. I want to finish up those whips today. But I just had an urge to color in this book, and I've kind of had the urge for a couple days, and I haven't gotten around to it. I've been doing a lot of mandalas. I've been really stressed out recently, and when I get stressed out, even the thought of choosing colors for like a full color page, just, I don't know, it's kind of like it's overwhelming. So I've spent a lot of time just laying down like my gel pens, truly, in mandala books. That's kind of what I like to do when I just want to color for stress and I need to relieve anxiety, or I need to relieve stress because I am stressed out. You know, I color like this to prevent anxiety and stress. But once I have the stress and the anxiety, it takes something a little simpler that I don't quite have to think as much, at least not to like plan. And so that's when I turn to mandala and use my mandala books. So it'll be nice in March to be able to color mandalas just for the love of mandala. I hope that I don't get tired of mandalas, because that's kind of been my go-to for you know, anxiety relief instead of prevention. But yeah, so we shall see how that goes. I've just been really anxious. There's been a lot of things on my mind, and that's had me, you know, a little down and everything. And then Gary's surgery coming up has me worried because of all the, you know, the what ifs and what coulds, and, you know. And I know there's nothing I can do about it, and I just need to put it over in God's hands and walk away. But, you know, it's just human nature to want to have some control over what's going on in our lives. So when something happens and we don't have that control, it's very hard to just turn it over and lay it down. So I struggle with that. But so that's what I've been doing lately, is a lot of mandalas. I did finish up the picture for John over at the Bibliophile Colorist for Winter Wonderland. I emailed it to him about an hour ago, so hopefully he'll get that. But I really wanted to participate in that with him. I really enjoy his channel a lot, so I definitely wanted to take part. Today was almost kind of like a boo. I've gotten things in the mail. I'd ordered a few things, you know, from Amazon, and I had my fairy, how do I say that? My Happy Mail fairy godmother send me some things. So I've been getting things in the mail the past few days, but then today there was nothing in the mail for me, and it was like a letdown. Does that ever happen to you guys? You know, you're just kind of like, boo. Of course, that really shouldn't happen to me. I shouldn't be expecting mail all the time. But yeah, so, you know, that was my whole needing to cut back on spending. So I've been trying to be very cautious about the money that I spend. And Gary's gotten a couple things in the mail the past few days. And there was a couple of those days that I didn't get anything either. And I got the box and I came in the house with it, and I had this real sad puppy dog face, and he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "It's for you." And he's like, "You know, you're not the only person who lives in this house." Yeah. UPS is my little brown Santa, and that's what I call him. I don't have a name for my post person yet because I don't want to really give them a pet name, because it might be ugly the way they shove things up in my box that doesn't need to be shoved up in my box. It's frustrating. Obviously, they don't shop online. That's like the only thing I can think of, because if they shopped online, they would never try to shove the stuff that they're shoving up in the box. I mean, it's obvious it doesn't fit well. If it doesn't fit well, bring it to the door. I mean, you know. So I have no idea what this will look like when it dries. I'm afraid it's just going to put kind of lines in there, which will be a bummer. But I know you guys couldn't see some of that, but I was just kind of going over these little streaks of grass here. I know for a fact that my camera's in the same spot. It always is, because I film with a gooseneck that actually attaches to my desk. So it's in the exact same spot. It has not been taken off this desk. I don't understand why. It just feels like it's not in the right spot, and I don't get it. Yeah, that's gonna need a darker green. If I don't use a marker, I'll go back over it with some pencil or gel pen or something like that. Oh, I didn't get anything. I picked out markers and did not get anything to color this cute little bunny with. So I will have to figure out something for him. So I hope your weekend is going very well. It will probably be Monday before you guys actually see this. So I guess I should say, I hope your weekend was wonderful. And I hope you got some rest and some relaxation, as well as anything that was on your to-do list that needed to get done. And I know some of you have, it's a true weekend where you're not working and you're at home. I know for others of you, you work weekends. So wherever you were, I hope it was at least enjoyable and peaceful. I know with Gary, he works, he's going to work, it's every so many weeks, he'll have a full Saturday and Sunday off. Maybe every 3 weeks, I think, 4 weeks, something like that. He has a full Saturday and Sunday off. But every week, it is guaranteed he's either going to be working on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So that's just a given in our world. And you get used to that, you know. He works most holidays every third year, except when leap year throws everything off. He has the holiday off, but other than that, he's working those holidays, whether it be like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, that kind of thing. And you just kind of, you get used to it. You learn to have gatherings and celebrate holidays when you can, not based off what a calendar says. And you know, it's going to be even more difficult going forward, because now our son Michael is also working in emergency medicine, and so he's working shift work like that also. So there'll be a lot of planning going forward for things. I didn't get anything to color her eyes with either. And I told you guys I came prepared. I lied. I really enjoy Deborah Muller's book. For those of you who are new to the channel, the only coloring book I have ever completed was a Deborah Muller. It was Naughty and Nice Girls over the Christmas holiday season. I loved it. It was just like I was just addicted to coloring that book. And some of these are super cute too. I really want, there's several of these I want to sit and color, so I am so sorry if in the month, at the end of this month, maybe not at the end of the month this month, because I don't know. I've got so many other things going on, but like in the end of February, you guys might see a lot of these, and I apologize for that in advance. For those of you who are not, you know, big into Deborah Muller, but I do enjoy Deborah's work. I've been watching some ColorTube today. I watched Niecy's new video for It's All About Jade Summer, and she did a wonderful job in Mommy and Me. It was nice to watch. She wants me to do a how I use a colorless blender video. She had kind of asked me that over on her channel when I had commented. Oh goodness, and I don't know. I don't like using my colorless blender. I'm not impressed with them really, but and I don't know I don't know all the ins and outs of the colorless blender, but I might touch base on that one day. That might be interesting. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what a colorless blender is and what it does. And it does not do what it seems like it would do based off of its name. That's not what they are. So, I don't know. We'll see. And I watched John's video. Bravo on figuring out live streaming. I still need to figure that out and see how I want to use live streams going forward. I'm never going to give up pre-recorded color and chats. I know that you guys like those a lot, and it's very one-on-one. And so I'm not ever going to stop that. Of course, I will probably work some different things in for live feeds. But I watched that, and then I watched John's Happy Mail video. He got some wonderful things. He had gotten the 40 set of Neo 2s, and they look super interesting. Do any of you guys have Neo 2s? I've kind of wondered about them. I think I saw Anne use them once. I think she compared them to between the Neo Color 2s and the Faber-Castell gel crayons. I think she was using both of those and kind of trying to see. I don't know. That's vaguely what I remember. But have you guys used those? And if you have, how do you like the way they work? And if you've used those, have you also used gelatos? And if so, what are the similarities and what are the differences? Because I have, I believe, all of the gelatos. I believe Ross had a sale quite a while back, and I had gotten sets also from Hobby Lobby using coupons, but then when Ross had a sale, I bought whatever else that I didn't have, and then some duplicates from Ross. It was really, I think it was like $2.99 maybe, or it was either $2.99 or $3.99 for like a 4-pack or 5-pack of gelatos, which was a steal of a deal. And luckily that sale was going on while we were on our trip to Washington, D.C. So while Gary was doing the honor guard things that we take the trip for, I visited several of the Rosses in that area. So I was kind of able to hit up Rosses here and there, which was nice. So I've played around with gelatos a little bit, but I didn't know if they're basically the same thing as the Neo 2s or no. I have the, I believe it's U.S. Art Supply 36 count gel crayons. I really haven't played with them like I should. I purchased them because the price was so good and they reminded me of gelatos, and I wanted to see if they were going to, you know, kind of behave like gelatos. And I've just never really taken the time to sit down with them and figure that out. So one of these days I need to do that also. I'd also picked up some gel crayons at Walmart. I think Playday is their brand or whatever. And they were only like $5 for maybe 24. And I had gotten those, and they do seem to blend out like gelatos. Of course, gelatos, you know, most of the gelatos has shimmer and things like that to it, and of course these don't. They're just flat color, but that's okay. I need to work with those more, you know, in my effort to use my supplies. That needs to be something that I focus on some. Is those little watercolor type things that I have. before I started filming, I was watching Anne's video. I think it's her latest on the King Art pencils. So I was kind of watching and listening to that. It's actually paused in the background right now because I wanted to sit down and color and record. So I was watching that, and I went into Tuesday morning while I was out getting my medications filled, and Tuesday morning has they have the King Art dual brush. It's got like a finer point and then a brush marker. They look very similar on the box to Tombows. They have those for $9.99. I believe it was a 20. Oh no, I think those may have been $4.99. I can't remember how many were in the pack though. And then they had the King Art dual-ended alcohol markers. They had those in a 24 count. And they're kind of like the Spectrum Noirs. They have, you know, the bullet tip like that, and then the broad chisel. And those are $9.99 for the 24 right now at Tuesday morning. And, you know, I just thought it was neat. I saw that Anne was doing the King Art pencils, and then when I went in, they had the King Art supplies. And since they had King Art in stock, I looked all over to see if they might have the pencils, but they didn't have any King Art pencils. They do have some, like, leisure art pencils. And Tuesday morning also carries a lot of Recollections, like overstocks from Michaels. So, I mean, if you guys have never been into your Tuesday morning, if you have one, if you've never been, it would be good just to take a stop in. They generally have different types of markers and pencils and gel pens. They have lots of other craft supplies, stamps, stencils, all kinds of stuff. You guys you should stop in sometime and take a look. You might find something really good there. So, yeah. So, if you haven't checked out your Tuesday morning, check it out and see what you can find. These Spectrum Noir markers are $19.99 for the 24 packs, if you can find them. I've been looking high and low for them. I really would like to get a couple more packs of the pastels if I could, and maybe a couple packs of the essentials. The others, but I really want the essentials and the pastels. I would love to have about 2 more packs of each. So, but unfortunately, my store has not had any more. Either that or my nemesis from Memory Lane Keepsakes keeps getting them. One or the other. I love you if you're watching. We'll see you there Tuesday at 10. Or Wednesday at 10, whichever. Our Tuesday morning gets their truck on Tuesday. And they put their stuff out that day, so Tuesday evening actually would be a good time. Or first thing Wednesday when they open for our store. So check and find out when your store, if you're going to try the Tuesday morning thing. It's a thing here on YouTube, Tuesday morning hauls. So if you want to try your Tuesday morning, give them a call and find out when their trucks come and what time of day they normally stock their arts and crafts. And go, I mean, literally, be there about that time, because it is a thing. You know, we have color tube over here. Yeah. Those crafters, I'm telling you, they are checking that Tuesday morning out. There's videos of hauls and all kinds of stuff on YouTube. So, okie dokie dokie. And I'm really not mad at her at all about the Spectrum Neor markers. I'm really let down that I can't find any more. But I'm not angry with her that she bought them. I hope that she enjoys them and everything. Because they're very, very nice markers. I love these. I keep checking my apps every day to see if Joann's or AC Moore will have a 60% off coupon pop up, because, you know, I use those at Michael's when they do. Of course, I don't know what in the world I'm going to buy at Michael's if it does. I've been thinking about that. And I'm like, why are you checking this? What is it that you're wanting to buy? I've really been thinking about getting some more watercolor pencils. I'd kind of sort of like to have the Goldfaber ones that are watercolor, but I don't know. I tried to do my background for John today. When I finished that up, I tried to do that background with my watercolor pencils and then blend them out with the water. It was absolutely killing my hands. Now, the ones I have are just the Hero watercolor pencils. But pencils in general have a tendency to hurt my hand. And I had to stop. I was like, I can't do this. And I pulled out my gelatos and did the rest of the background in just a similar color of gelato, so it wouldn't look so bad. But, so, I mean, really, I don't know how much use I would get out of the watercolor pencils. My thought was they would be great for backgrounds, but if they're going to hurt, and they are, if you've got patience and the hands for it. I don't know. That is how I got my Goldfaber pencils. I used the 60% off coupon at Michael's, and it brought them down to, I believe, $24 for the full 48 set. And the few times that I've, you know, played around with those, I do like them. They seem to work really, really well. So they're definitely worth it. And I wish they would put out more colors, since they are cheaper than, like, the polychromos. But, you know, I don't think, whatever they were before, I can't remember what the name was before the Goldfabers, but I don't think that those had like 120 like the polychromos either. So I don't expect them to introduce more colors. It would be nice. When I finish with the marker base, I'll do probably some pencil work also, and try to see if I can make her look any better. I'm really trying to play around with my pencils more, especially like over my marker work. I'm really trying my best to do that. And I forget a lot, because for so long, if it wasn't done with my marker, I just didn't do it, you know. So I'm constantly having to remind myself to get the marker and do it, or not the marker, but the pencils. But I probably won't do that on camera. I didn't intend to sit down for a really long color and chat today, but I did want to spend a little of my Saturday with you guys. Of course, it's probably your Monday now. And I'm sorry I keep saying that. I mean, that's kind of, I'm being very repetitive with that. I'm sorry. For those of you new to my channel, I welcome you. Thank you for subscribing. I am so happy that you're here. And I hope you are enjoying the videos. If you guys ever have any requests or comments or suggestions or anything like that, if you look at the description of the video, if you look just below the video, there's, at least on mobile, there's like a little arrow. Click that arrow, that little down arrow, and you'll see the description of the video. Inside the description of the video, I have my email address. So if you ever have questions or comments or suggestions or requests or anything like that, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this with a violet. I wasn't going to, but I'm probably going to go over this. But yeah, just shoot me an email, and I would love to hear from you. I just didn't like the way the pink was blending into the pink on the legs. I didn't plan that very well, apparently. I'm afraid now it's gonna, I don't know, we'll see how this does. Oh my goodness. I just wasn't digging it. I wasn't feeling it, man. I'm not sure I'm feeling that either. I kind of wish this color was that, and I'm wondering if I went back over this with this color, would it make this color this color? I don't know. I don't know. But I do like the way that shaded there. Let me see. I like the shade it created there. I'm going to put it over what I did on her shirt just to see what happens. It's not quite as dark. Play around with some mixing on some colors and see what I can get for a second. Then I got it, I think. Yeah, I think I got it then. Let's see. See if Donna can send this picture all kinds of sideways. See, I like that better. Yeah, I like this better than this. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. You know what I say. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. I'm just afraid of it showing up really blotchy, because at this point, I mean, this is Amazon paper, and I am definitely oversaturating. Excuse me. Goodness, excuse me. Now I'm afraid it's going to be too dark against these flowers. I might wish I'd have just left good enough alone. We have storms rolling in for the night. They say that some of them could be pretty severe. Excuse me. The rain has arrived. So it's currently raining pretty good out there. Yeah, don't you guys think that this color looks better with this pink than this looked with that pink? I think it does. So. Sometimes you can change a color. You're never, going to be able to go over a darker color with a lighter color, because then you kind of get the same. If you've ever used an alcohol blender, and you know how it kind of will just make a faded line in your marker work, when you go over a darker color with a lighter color, that's something very similar happens. But sometimes you can go over a darker or a lighter color with a darker color, but keep in mind, color, when you put the alcohol down, you're re-wetting the ink that's already there. So by doing that, all of your color theory comes into play. So if you have say a yellow down on your paper, and you decide, oh, I want this to be blue, and you put that blue down, and then as soon as you wet it, it re-wets the yellow marker, and you end up with a shade of green. So keep that in mind if you ever try this. That way, you're not like, oh my gosh. It will happen. I speak from experience. I just like the way that looks better. Let that dry. Excuse me. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep this, I guess I should do it this color too, and the only way to do that is to double up the markers again. It is. It's the only way to do that. Maybe since it's wet, I'll get it out of one swipe this time instead of having to go over it twice. Go over it with this, then go over it, right back over it with the other deeper color, and hopefully get this. Bet you didn't know you were coming for a science project, huh? I didn't know that either. I thought the two colors I picked were going to look really super good together. And then it was kind of like, eh, not so sure. Yeah, see what you're getting now, since the bottom layer is still wet, is you're getting a blend of the two colors is what you're getting. And you get that a little bit by re-wetting, but not as much. Last night I watched Jennifer Stays. I finally watched her Wednesday night stream on how to get out of a art coloring slump. That was a very good video. I enjoyed that. Okie dokie. I almost used the wrong marker. I am so glad I looked at that. I have a marker sitting to the side that is for my whips that I have going. And I almost grabbed that baby. Instead of this deep pink, I would have had a rose red. And I'm sitting on that whip because I've got to work on it tonight. But I was working in Fairy Miracles. And it's the page that has the fairy on the unicorn with like the strawberries or whatever. And I thought, oh, strawberries are red. And I start putting that down, and I hope they're strawberries anyway, but if they're not, they sure as heck are now. But then I was like, ew, I don't like this red. And I just stopped right there, and I'm like, and I did the mushrooms too that are in the houses underneath. I did them the red. And I was like, I don't like this. You know, I don't like the way it looks. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that page, because there's really nothing I can do but just push forward, you know, with it. That's truly all I can do. So that's what I'm going to do. Broke my heart that I didn't like it and that it was in my Fairy Miracles book. But, you know, that all comes back to what I've said a million times. You know, it is just a coloring book, and there are more coloring books out there. I do not want to have to repurchase Fairy Miracles, but when I get to the end of the book, if I decide that I really just want to do that, you know, a different way, then yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. I'll repurchase the book. We'll see. Hopefully it won't come to that. Yeah, Fairy Miracles is, I admit, it's an expensive book to mess up in. You know, it's like, why can't it be a, you know, a $5.99 Jade Summer book? You know, when they do go on sale that low sometimes, so. I'm going to have to leave my desk here in just a minute and find a marker, or a couple markers, I don't know, for the bunny, as well as for her eyes. So here in just a minute, I'm going to have to pause this video and go over to where I keep my markers. I didn't mean for that to be quite that dark. Or not that dark. I didn't mean for it to be that bold of a line. Make too much contact. And if I'm going over in pencil, I don't understand why I'm doing this. But I did. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. I'm going to make this bunny. Blossom is the color name. I hope you guys aren't blurry. I just looked and realized that that looked kind of blurry. I hope not. Okay. I think Blossom is going to dry lighter than her dress, so this should be okay. If it's too close, I will just go back over the pink in her dress again. Not what we've already went over, but the other part with the same color, just to darken it up. If you do 2 layers of alcohol marker, you get a darker shade. Excuse me. I really hope you guys don't hear that when that happens, because it embarrasses me. I actually burped, and I bet you heard that because when I was watching John's, I can't remember if it was his Happy Mail or if it was his live feed or what it was, but poor John, his stomach growled. He said he was hungry, and he's like, his stomach growled, and he's like, oh, I hope nobody heard that. And I was like, that was your stomach, boy? Oh, my goodness. Go eat you some food. So, yeah. I don't know why I get those, like, burps that build up, and they happen. I can't control them, and I don't know. I think it's acid reflux, to be honest. So I'm probably gonna have to go on medication for that. There was one day, oh my goodness, we had some, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Smash Burger, but it's like a burger joint, and you can get like fancy gourmet kind of burgers, pick what you want on them, you know, that kind of thing. And I got my burger, and I ate it, and I had them add jalapenos to it. Well, luckily, Gary remembered that very important detail, because maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours later, because we had went to the store and then came home, I was sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, the worst chest pain started. I have never felt anything like this before. It mimicked everything I had read about if you feel this way, get to a hospital immediately, you're having a heart attack. I was so scared. It got to the point that I was starting to go into a panic. I had told Gary, and he's like, you know, just gotta relax, and it just kept getting worse. And you know, when he saw that I was really starting to panic, he said, you know, you're gonna need to take some antacids. And I was like, do I need to take a baby aspirin? And apparently a baby aspirin won't, you know, will make antacids not work right. And Gary said he was pretty sure, because he remembered the jalapenos on the burger, that that's what it was. And about 15-20 minutes after chewing up some Tums really fast and drinking it down, it started to subside. So I know that I have some issues going on sometimes with reflux, but oh boy, I had never felt anything like that in my entire life, and it scared me to death. So, and I've had heartburn before. I mean, don't think I went through my whole life and did not. My heartburn when I was pregnant with Brooke was unbearable. It was crazy. But nothing like that. You know, Gary says that was probably not necessarily just heartburn, but actually like acid reflux. So that could be what's going on sometimes. Getting old, I'm telling you, guys, for you young people out there, and I know I have a few subscribers that are young, and when I say young, I'm talking about younger than me. Getting old's not for sissies. Enjoy it while you got it. I'm telling you. Gary told me when I was 39, I have trigger thumb, and it's very similar to carpal tunnel, except in your thumb. Did you hear that? You hear those pops? Sometimes, did you hear that one? Sometimes they're really loud, and there are times when my thumb, I literally have to kind of push it down. It won't go down on its own. And I used to complain about that, like, a lot. And Gary would laugh at me. And he was like, oh, just wait till you turn 40. I'm kidding you not. But I'm 43 now. I'll be 44 this year. The pain is so much worse all over than it was. I wish the only problem I had was snap, crackle, pop in my thumb. See, once I've done it a little bit, it doesn't do it as bad. Can you hear that? A little bit. But after a while, it's not as bad. but oh goodness. And I thought that was bad, and I'm here to tell you, I don't complain about that trigger thumb anymore. It doesn't even bother me. So while, I'll put in some white in her eyes. So while you're younger and you don't have these health problems, please enjoy that time. Don't sweat the small stuff, because it is painful getting old. For sure. Alright guys, what do you think? Is she cute or what? I think she's cute. I'll probably go in, play around with some pencils, gel pens, you know, something, some Posca. Definitely put some white in her eyes. I may or may not do a background. I don't know. My intent was just to have a quick, fun little color because I wanted to color in this book. So I will see what I do with that, and it will definitely be in my finished pictures for the month of January, which that video will be coming up in just a couple weeks. Actually, maybe not even that long, because I want to get it done, you know, before the last day of the month. I need to record it before then, even if I don't release on until the last day. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this color and chat. I definitely enjoyed spending this time with you guys. I love being able to come here and talk to you guys and share life with you. For those of you that comment with me, I love that. I mean, it makes my day when I get your comments. For those of you on the Facebook group, I've really enjoyed having you there and seeing your work and pictures. If you're interested in the Facebook group, the links down below in the description as well. Things seem to be going great over there. I haven't had any issues or anything, so I feel like I made a good decision by deciding to make the group. So far, so good. Makes me happy. So, yeah, I'm going to end this video here. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, peace, love, and happy coloring. Bye, guys.